Hello and welcome to another episode of the Portrait Profit Show. Man, I'm so glad that you're here with me today. Man, what a subject I've got for you today. My name is Jim Landers, and my mission is to help photographers make an incredible living doing what it is that they love. Each week on the Portrait Profit Show, you get tips and systems on the business side of photography designed to help you gain a mastery over marketing and sales, reducing the struggles that most photographers face so you can finally get what you deserve. You're in the right place. Welcome to the Portrait Profit Show. The Portrait Profit Show is brought to you by Digital Pro Lab and Landers Photography School. I definitely encourage you to go visit Digital Pro Lab online at digitalprolab.com. That's digitalprolab.com. Excellent lab. You're going to enjoy working with the pros at Digital Pro Lab. And of course, Landers Photography School, because, well, that's what I do. LandersPhotoschool.com. Lots of classes to choose from. Many of them are available in person. Many of them are available online, and almost all of them are live, just like we're doing right now. A lot of times they're via Zoom, but they're live. So I encourage you to go to landersphotoschool.com or just reach out to me directly at jim@landersphotoschool.com and let's have a conversation. Again, I'm so grateful that you are here with me today. We've got some interesting stuff to be able to share with you. Some of it might be a little on the surprising side. Some of it may be on the sobering or depressing side, but don't let it be. Just listen to it. Listen through the whole subject, all the different things that I'm going to present to you, because we're going to come down to an end I think you're going to like. So let's see. I'm going to pull. Oh, that's not the one that I wanted. I just made my screen size so small I can't read it. And so I need to bring it back up. There it goes. All right. So I want to, before I get into today's subject, to invite you to share this show. So on the in the comment section, I want you to enter in hashtag live. Hashtag live. And that tells you that you're here right now. And I also want you to do something. I'm going to put it going across the screen right now. So you'll see it coming across right across here, going across, saying that we use a platform called StreamYard. And that causes us to be able to simulcast this show to several different places. We're being shown right now on 5 different Facebook groups, 2 different YouTube channels, and 1 LinkedIn page, so that multiple places can see it at one time. But what that does is makes it where we can't follow it on, there's too many to follow, because we'd have to be clicking back and forth between all the 8 different places we're simulcasting to. So this StreamYard makes it possible for me to see all of them at one time. So when you're making comments on one, it shares it on my screen. Now, it only does that for those who register. What you're seeing going across the screen is, before leaving a comment, please grant StreamYard permission to use your name. And so when you go to streamyard.com/Facebook, that gives StreamYard permission for me to see your name. And so that way I can see who's here. So, of course, I'm going to, throughout the show, I encourage you to ask questions, make comments, and, of course, hit that like button and love button. Yeah, of course. So I just want you to take care of that right now. And those of you who are here right now watching live, do me a favor and enter in hashtag live. So I know you're here watching. If you're watching this as a replay, do me a favor and enter in hashtag replay. Hashtag replay. All right. Enough about that housekeeping stuff. I want to get into today's topic because, oh man, this was fun to plan and research, because I somewhat try to keep up, but I'm very well aware there's way too much stuff to keep up with. But I did come across some things that I really didn't know existed to the extent that they that they are. And I'm going to share some of those things with you here in just a moment. But uh, we're talking today about, is AI coming for portrait photography? Not is it coming to, like, do we get to use AI? Of course, we get to use AI. Many of us have been doing it for months, if not years. So, therefore, is it coming for photography? Is it something that is going to cause photographers to be scared of losing their jobs? That's today's topic. So, maybe it's scary. For some, it's riveting. Either way, we're going to predict the future of portrait photography today. We'll explore the powerful impact that AI has and its implications on your business. Will portrait photography still exist? Will AI take over? Uncover key factors to embracing innovation while preserving the essence of heartfelt communication and connection, and create a thriving path in this evolving environment. So, I want to welcome you to this week's edition of the Portrait Profit Show. I appreciate you being here and taking time, investing your time here on the Portrait Profit Show. Uh, Recent advancements in portrait photography, or in artificial intelligence, have brought some new portrait generation technologies like GAN networks and deep fakes. These artificial intelligence, or AI systems, can synthesize photorealistic human portraits. And these technologies can also modify and edit existing images. I think we know all that. So if you have looked into AI technologies, understandably, some of you have wondered, well, some of you wonderful photographers may feel a bit uneasy about what this means for the future of photography and your livelihoods. I am telling you right now that you absolutely should be paying attention to advancing AI capabilities. They have already and will continue to change decisions that you make, and maybe even more important, the decision making of your clients. Because yes, you see yourself as unique and individual, but do your clients see you that way? Some of them, yes. All of them? All of your prospects? No. This is where we'll lose people. Not because you aren't doing things right, but because the people who are paying you will at some point stop recognizing the difference, or not value the difference enough to pay for it. I predict that within a short time, 5 years, that there will be significant changes, and some sectors of photography will either be eliminated or so different that if they were to remain the same, not make any changes, not adjust, they would go out of business. This should concern you. If you are not concerned, then you have not had the opportunity to keep up with the changes that are already here. However, while acknowledging the progress that AI systems have made, today's portrait photographer will be able to adapt without fear of being made obsolete anytime soon. There are human skills such as establishing rapport, assessing a client's personality, art directing, and applying creative vision that distinguish the work of a professional photographer from AI. That being said, we must be prudent in considering our choices for the future. More advanced AI is inevitable. That, combined with the advancing robotic and drone technology, could replace many tasks that a human photographer could perform. By the way, me saying human photographer, when I was writing this, I was thinking, what's a better way to describe that? At some point, there's going to be things that can do it autonomously for us in different sectors. So therefore, I have to differentiate it. I have to show the difference. So human photographers were what I'm calling us. Man, that was weird to write that and to say it, and probably for you to hear it, but it's coming. There's already cameras on drones. There are already robots that have cameras on them. They're just not necessarily being used autonomously. They're not being used in place of a photographer just yet. For a lot of this stuff does remain in the hypothetical but plausible category that I'm going to be sharing with you. For the foreseeable future, human creativity and interpersonal skills will continue the profession of portrait photography. And if, as long as you are adapting, you will thrive. You'll be fine. You'll be great, actually. In this show, we'll take a nuanced look at what AI can and cannot do in portraiture. We'll anticipate future developments and will affirm why passionate photographers will continue to thrive. But let's talk about current events, what people are saying. So you may have heard, this is just a few months ago, but you may have heard about the annual Sony World Photography Awards story. When the winners were announced on March 14th of this year, 2023, photographer Boris Eldigson's entry won first prize. But he declined to accept the $5,000 cash prize because his image was created not with a camera, but with artificial intelligence. And I'm going to show you that photograph right now. So that is by Boris Eldigson. He went on to say, just as photography replaced painting in the reproduction of reality, can you imagine that painters were concerned when photography came along? He said, just as photography replaced painting in the reproduction of reality, AI will replace photography. He says, don't be afraid of the future. It will just be more obvious that our mind always created the world that makes it suffer. Again, that is Boris Eldigson. Now, I'm going to share with you a news release from Shutterstock. And I assume you know what Shutterstock is, but and some of you may use it, but I'm going to tell you just a little bit about it. It's a stock photography website where you can, if you remember, upload your photographs with the intention and your fingers crossed that someone's going to purchase them. Okay. This is an industry, I believe, that is going to be one of the quicker ones to fade away unless they adapt. And the reason is because people can create images now using things like Midjourney, Blue Willow, Stable Diffusion, several others. So therefore, if someone can create it on their own, why would they pay Shutterstock or another stock photography company hundreds of dollars or whatever to use their images? They will slowly stop doing that. So therefore, if a stock photography company does not adapt, I believe that they will be some of the first to fade, to not exist any longer, to vanish. So this next thing I'm going to show you, sitting right here on the screen, is a news release by Shutterstock. Now, I'm going to read part of it, not the whole thing, but this was last week, July 11th, 2023. Shutterstock, a leading global creative platform offering high-quality content and full-service creative workflow solutions for transformative brands, digital media, and marketing companies, today announced the expansion of their partnership with OpenAI, a pioneer in artificial intelligence. Through the 6-year agreement, Shutterstock is set to solidify its position as a leading provider of high quality training data to OpenAI models, propelling transformative capabilities for brands, digital media, and marketing companies. The partnership expansion is the latest in several strategic steps Shutterstock has taken as one of the leading innovators bringing AI advancements to the creative industry. Earlier this year, the company launched its AI image generator, a DALL-E powered groundbreaking tool that empowers users to instantly create customized visuals. Shutterstock was the first to introduce a contributor fund. Its pioneering initiative that to date has compensated hundreds of thousands of artists for their role in the content. Well, in the content IP that has played a training in training Shutterstock's generative technology, as well as compensate them with ongoing royalties tied to licensing activity for newly generated assets. I don't know if you guys came across this already or knew this was coming or had a picture in your mind and hadn't seen it yet. But yeah, this is the kind of thing that's going on. That is Shutterstock adapting so that they don't fade away. All right. Here is the opinion of a photographer. Now, this photographer is based in Nuremberg, Germany. His name is Thomas Bonig, and I'm going to share with you his photograph. In a recent episode of Creativity Squared by Helen Todd, Thomas said, "I actually wanted to rule it out as a threat to the craft that I am a part of, but I couldn't. It's a really extensive, powerful tool." So he's a commercial and street photographer in Nuremberg, Germany. And he had an hour-long interview, and he shared some things that he was concerned about. He spoke about photography as a past tense kind of a thing. He was the first I've ever heard talk about it in that way. So he's not scared. He's adapting. What are consumers saying, though? Because when it comes to consumers, that's really what we're talking about. Because just because you adapt, or just because you are really good at what you do, or just because you are continuing to be true to your craft, does not mean that clients are going to still come to you, or enough of them. So, what are clients saying? I'm going to share with you a few of those opinions. So, this first one is Dr. Nicole Price. She's the author of Spark the Heart. She says AI is a powerful tool that can enhance our creative process, but it can never replace the unique artistry and perspective that photographers bring to their work. Yay, I like that. Thanks, Dr. Nicole Price. How about this one? This is Liara McKinney, and she says, this is great. I'm a fan, but I am a fan of AI, but it can never replace human intelligence. All right, we like Liara. So what about Dina Schmidt? Dina is a public speaking coach, an etiquette instructor, and a public speaker herself. So she says, I don't think AI will replace photographers anytime soon. However, it's certainly an interesting way to get an inexpensive headshot. Okay, that is concerning for us photographers. Thank you for sharing that, Dina, because people want a good deal. And if they can get one, they're very likely to try it at least once. And if it works well enough, they're not coming back to you. I'll come back to that thought in just a moment. The next person that has a quote on this is Lori Pulvermacher, and she has an MBA, and she is a coach for attorneys. She says, my AI headshot experience, meaning she's already created headshots using AI and not us photographers. My AI headshot experience was a miss and a disappointment, but a great reminder that AI is an asset, not a replacement. She says, last month I had the opportunity to sit in on a fascinating discussion with attorneys on the ways they are incorporating AI into their practices. I was familiar with ChatGPT, but was particularly intrigued by AI generated photos and decided to give it a try. For less than $40 with Headshot Pro, unfortunately, I was disappointed. Not all the images, or it's not that the images didn't look great, but rather I couldn't pass them off as myself. I will say that the outfits and backgrounds were impressive. AI headshots still have a long way to go before they can truly replace the expertise and creativity of the professional photographer. While the process was fun and interesting, I don't think I'm ready to bid farewell to my trusted photographer anytime soon. But listen to one particular thing that Lori said. She said, sitting in on a fascinating discussion with a group of attorneys that were incorporating AI into their practices. She said that it was recommended that they try AI generated photography. That means there are groups who are effectively saying, without directly saying, you don't need photographers anymore. That should concern you. The next person, and I've got just this one and one more. This is Nadia Hansen, a digital transformation executive at Salesforce and an adjunct professor at UNLV. She said, I was a little bit skeptical at first when I read about a $17 AI headshot. Since it came from a trusted source, I decided to give it a try. Or she decided, the company she uses, try it on. So I decided to give Try It On AI a shot. Her response, her review is, I'm blown away by the quality and feel of these. I got 100 images in less than 24 hours. She said, this doesn't replace the human touch of getting professional photographs done. But if you're in a time or financial crunch, then this is a legit option. Okay. I hope you're listening. And then finally, Marlo Lyons. She is a global certified career coach and a Harvard Business Review and Newsweek contributor. She tried AI headshots. And here's what she has to say. I used Secta AI to experiment. These certainly saved me time and effort putting on my makeup, getting dressed in multiple outfits, doing my hair, etc. That said, capturing the essence of a person is key. Thinking this may replace headshot photographers in the near future. So we have influential people talking about AI as a replacement for photographers. So, well, is this resonating with you? Are you hearing this? Let me know. Go over to the comments. Just type in yes, or share something that you've experienced. I'd love to hear your stories. If you've tried one of these AI generated images, and I'm going to share some of them with you in a little while because you've got some competitors in the AI world, and I want to introduce you to them. In the comments section, just give me a yes, or this is good, or I am a little scared now, or whatever it is that you're feeling right now, but at least give me something over in the comment section right now. Share something with me. By the way, if you are watching live, if you just joined us, please do me a favor and enter in hashtag live into the comments. That way I know you're watching live. So do that for me right now. So let me introduce you to your AI competitors. You excited? All right, here we go. One of the ones that are uh, uh, the the people that we just heard from quoted was Headshot Pro, and you can find that at headshotpro.com if you're curious. Now, I'm going to tell you a little bit about some of these companies, not all of them, and I found a ton when I started looking. I'm not kidding. There's a lot of these out there. I'm gonna highlight a handful of them just so you know. But their quote or their slogan is get professional headshots in minutes with our AI photographer. Their turnaround time is 2 hours and they charge $29. We're not going to beat that. How about another one that you heard just a moment ago? Secta, SECTA, Secta.ai. Their slogan is from selfies to professional headshots with AI. All they want you to do is take your cell phone, photograph yourself in a couple of different angles, upload that, and they create professional looking photographs. It was impressive. It really was. They so they're oh, and they take less than an hour, and their product is $49, which, by the way, is the most and they do have different levels. Most of them had 3 different levels, and it was based on the number of images that was created. This one started at $49, so it was the most expensive of the beginning options that I came across. The next one I want to share with you is Studio Shot. They're at studioshot.ai. Their slogan, the ultimate solution for professional headshots. Upgrade your image in under 5 minutes without the hassle of a traditional photo shoot. Guys, they're coming for us. The title of this show today hopefully suggested it. They charge $29. Another one is called Photogenic AI. That's photogenicai.com. They are $25. ProFace, which is avatarize.club, is $29. Try It On, which we mentioned already, at tryitonai.com is $17. Better Pick at betterpick.io. And let me give you their slogan: upgrade your online presence with studio quality headshots. High quality, personalized, and affordable images, profile picture, acting headshots, or even professional portraits. Save time, money, and effort. It does take some effort for someone to come to a photographer. They're eliminating that. There will be people who are interested in that who will no longer hire you. And they charge $12.99. And finally, the lowest cost option that I found, Airbrush. They're at campaign.airbrush.io/AI headshots. Now they could have made that a little bit shorter. By the way, if you want all these different uh, uh, these different URLs, these different companies that I'm talking about. And by the way, I'm going to be talking about several more throughout today's presentation. But if you want that, just send me an email at jim@landersphotoschool.com. It does take me some time to do it, so I'm going to charge for it, but just $10. So just send me an email, jim@landersphotoschool.com. I'll send you the script from today's show, and send you every single thing that we have, that I've talked about today, the entire script with all of the different things, and everything is sourced, so you can click on it to find more information to prove what I'm saying is correct. All right, let's move on. That's enough of introducing the AI competitors to us. How about AI's current capabilities and limitations? By the way, if you're enjoying this, do me a favor and write something in the comments section. And enjoy may be the wrong word. If you're getting something out of this, maybe just write the word yes. Maybe say thanks for doing this, whatever you want to say, but let me know that you're here in the comments section. All right. In fact, maybe I should check the comment section every once in a while because there are a bunch of you here today, which I'm excited about. Let's see. Mhm. Hey, there's at least one person coming to us all the way from the other side of the world in India. That's pretty cool. Uh, Hi, Shivani. And let's see, oh man, whew, all over the place. Now, it doesn't show me where you're from. I just know where some are of you are from. uh, Pork, that's funny. I used ChatGPT to write this very response. Love it. uh, yeah, that's right. Jeremiah, that's right. This AI stuff is how the Terminator movies start. That's the truth. Mm. All right. You guys keep on sharing. There's a whole bunch of stuff I'm seeing here, and there's actually way too many for me to read right now. But I want you to continue to do that. I like the interaction, and every once in a while, I'll come back over to the comments section and maybe react to those. All right. So uh, we've talked about your competitors. Now let's talk about the current AI capabilities and the limitations. So I've played with a few of these AI generating image software programs. Uh, and when I say play, I'm not doing it for business purposes. So I've played with only a few image generation tools such as Midjourney, Blue Willow, and Stable Diffusion, and a handful of others. But those are the ones. If you've started looking into this stuff, you've probably come across those. But I've not used any of them for my portrait photography business yet. Although some of the people that I work with, as far as coaching and having some type of uh, relationship with a photography relationship with, some of you have. So my goal is simply an attempt to keep up. So that's why I'm just playing. It's an attempt to keep up, which may be futile because things are changing. There's new apps there that are coming out. It seems like every single day. So there's no keeping up with it. There's only an attempt to do so. AI technologies enable several key capabilities in generating and modifying portraits. You may have heard something called a GAN, GAN. GAN's like style GAN can synthesize highly realistic portraits of non existent people by tuning attributes like age, gender, hairstyle, ethnicity. Deepfakes leverage neural networks to replace a person's face in an existing image or existing video. Yeah, if you didn't, some of you already knew that, but if you didn't know that, that's a shocker. You can change the face in a video, and it is looking more and more realistic. AI can also change backgrounds, remove objects, adjust lighting and color, remove blemishes, colorizing a black and white image, add more background where no image currently exists. So you know about cropping where you bring something in and crop stuff out. What about when you add stuff in that was not there in the original image? Generative AI. It can do pretty much everything you can think of. And when you start researching it, some things you never did, that never crossed your mind, and it exists already. Now, a GAN, GAN, it's just an acronym. GANs are a type of deep learning framework where two neural networks compete against each other in order to generate new synthetic data. The generator tries to create artificial outputs like fake portraits, while the discriminator tries to detect which outputs are artificial. And they play this adversarial game, improving each other over time. So, some key facts about GANs. First proposed in 2014 by Ian Goodfellow while at the University of Montreal. Used today to generate very realistic artificial images and videos and voices, uh, and several other interesting things. So, in the handout, if you want it, again, just send me an email, jim@landersphotoschool.com. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 different articles that you might want to check out on GANs. And apps like the ones that I mentioned earlier, the competitors, like I mentioned earlier, enable anyone to transform something something as simple as a selfie into images that look like it was done by a pro. I'm serious. It looks, you just photograph yourself, you upload that, it takes the background out, it improves how you look, it puts in a professional looking background, and it is realistic. It is. It looks like it was done by a pro. Now, to differing degrees, I am talking about the best ones look like that. The worst ones look pretty crappy, but way better than the ones that I saw just a few months ago, which, the fingers would have too many, the hands would have too many fingers on it, or there would be funky looking teeth. That stuff's a thing of the past, guys. If you're thinking that that's how we are differentiated, that's how we're better, sorry, you're living 3 months in the past. That doesn't exist anymore. They all have improved that and made it where it hardly ever happens anymore. So, AI cannot create portraits that portray individuality and emotion anywhere near what a human can do, such as we can listen and understand with empathy and being able to translate that into an image that portrays that individual. We still have that one up. It's actually a big one up on AI technology. AI lacks that kind of insight, and it just doesn't have any originality. It's copies of things that are in the past. Now, you may think that's great, or that's a wonderful thing. We can't necessarily tell the difference between something copied and something original. Not in a general sense. In a specific sense, we may be able to tell that doesn't really reflect that person very well, but we'd have to know them in order to detect that. So, while AI enables some beneficial assistance, it cannot currently replicate photography as an artistic, collaborative, and empathetic human experience. We have all that up on AI. But let's talk about some future possibilities and concerns. I'm taking you guys on a roller coaster. If all advancements in AI stopped today, current AI technologies are not ready to displace human photographers. However, it's not going to stop today. Continued improvements could displace photographers. Advances in computer vision analysis in the perception of visual cues, natural language processing, including verbal cues and patterns, and multimodal AI, meaning it's coming from different types of sources. So photographs, text, um, uh, voice, so several different modes put into one, could enable systems to perceive and interact more like us humans. Kind of like we photographers become really good at over time, interacting with our clients, being able to have empathy, or being able to tell a story with what we know and be able to portray our clients. These new technologies are heading that direction. All right. I am sure that you can imagine that AI assistants could provide some basic things. Let's think into the future. What could AI help with if someone's just doing it on their own, or is a new photographer who has never learned anything about photography? Well, you could train AI to tell you what you need to do and tell the client what they need to do, how to sit, what direction to put their head, their eyes, their hands, all of that can easily be done with AI today. So I'm sure you can imagine that basic coaching during a photography session based on what looks good, AI could analyze client responses, voice intonation, sorry, facial expressions, emotions, and body language, and emotional intelligence to build rapport. These things or something similar to it could exist. Let's consider a hypothetical scenario where AI matches or exceeds human level photography skills. Now, when I say human level photography skills, I'm talking about your knowledge of photography, your ability to communicate with your clients, your post production process. I'm talking about all the different variables that you do as a photographer, social capabilities, creative direction. So imagine this hypothetical where an AI matches your skills, your social capabilities, and creative direction. Combine that with robotic camera platforms and drones with high quality AI vision systems. And in this scenario, the role of the human photographer is severely diminished and in some instances replaced entirely. However, it remains to be seen if this degree of technological sophistication is even achievable. It's a theory at this point. There are things that suggest that these things are possible, but it's still a theory. It hasn't been done. That's a challenging thing. So, as I mentioned in the introduction, more advanced AI is inevitable. And that combined with advancing robotic and drone technology could replace many tasks that a human photographer performs. However, I am predicting that even with AI that we can only imagine at this time will likely do a poor job of replicating human vision, problem solving, and humanistic elements that produce images that accurately and emotionally portray your subjects. I believe originality and empathy is an enormous challenge for AI. So maybe that will never be as good as humans. But for those that don't really care, the clients that don't need that much attention, don't care about that level of service, for them, the AI technologies are going to be enough to not go through the hassle of working with you. So therefore, it could severely diminish the number of photographers that could be viable. And I predict if that kind of stuff happens, that only high level, high end photographers are going to be viable. Because there will always, I believe, be people who want people to do the work. And they know they're going to be paying a lot extra for that. So I am recommending that you guys start adding AI learning into education and into your your plans. I am recommending that you get out of the low end of photography because it will be the first to suffer some noticeable changes. Move into the higher end. Now, what's that going to do? It's going to put a whole lot more people on the higher end. So you guys who are already there, you need to move. You need to one up because they're going to catch those other guys are going to catch up with you. And there's a lot of ways to one up. I don't have time to go over those in today's presentation, but I want to just say for the foreseeable future, we photographers should have little fear of any of that stuff that I just mentioned. In any type of complete replacement, little fear of that. And depending on what type of work you do, zero fear of that within your career. But you must responsibly consider emerging technologies and adopt tools that enhance your goals because you're going to get left behind if you don't. I'm not suggesting that you start learning different types of AI and know what it's about. I'm not suggesting. I'm telling you, you are harming yourself, your business, and anyone who relies on that income if you don't. Yeah, it's that important. In the handouts, I'm going to share with you several additional sources, like what computer vision is, natural language processing, which is usually just NLP, is how you'll see that listed if you're reading an article, multimodal AI, robotics, smart cameras, the ethics of AI in photography, which is really just an opinion from different groups of people. So that all that stuff is in the handout that I have prepared for this. Again, if you want that handout with all the extra stuff, including the script, just send me an email, jim@landersphotoschool.com. I'll send that to you. I'll send you an invoice too for $10. So that's how we'll handle that. Now, there's some AI tools I want to suggest to you. There are way too many just simply to investigate, but there are several specific AI powered tools to pay attention to for enhancing photographers' productivity and efficiency. So I want to go over just a handful of them. The first is when you are uploading your images, you're taking them from your camera, putting them onto your computer, or however wherever you put your images. I put them on a NAS, a network accessible storage, because I don't want it on my computer, because hard drives fail and your NAS is redundant. So yeah, one of them is going to fail, but you still have more. Mine's 4 times redundant. So when you are uploading your photographs, there are steps that everybody goes through, and that's culling and your style, where you're doing your editing style. So by the way, before I do that, if this is helping, will you let me know in the comments? Say, this is helping, this is interesting, or this, I appreciate you sharing this information. Some of this is scary, but thanks for sharing the good and the bad. Whatever it is you want to interact with me, let me know. Say something in the comments right now. That tells me that you're here. It tells me that you're listening. If you're just watching and not interacting, you're not gaining as much as you could if you would interact. I'm serious. All right. The first one I want to mention to you is Filter Pixel. Now, we've had the owner, or the CEO and founder of, or co-founder of Filter Pixel on this show before. It was on the 98th episode, which was, I believe, the very first one in January of this year, 2023. And so we definitely know, uh, him, and we know his product, Filter Pixel. His name is Ayush Arora, and this is a culling and editing software. It's filterpixel.com, filterpixel.com. With a little prep the first time you use this software, every time after that, you're going to get quick automated image culling, analysis, and adjustments in your style. Just upload your images, and the software does the work that used to take you hours. We have got to implement things like this. Yes, there are other competitors to this, but I think this is the one that's on the cutting edge, and this is the one I recommend. Filterpixel.com. It is going to save you time. You need to have some type of program that does this for you, and this is the one I recommend, filterpixel.com. Now, when it comes to retouching specific things on an image, I guess I want to put that on the screen so you can see that, filterpixel.com. All right. So when it comes to retouching, tools like Photoshop and Lightroom, and you probably know something that is in Photoshop called neural filters. And if you don't, well, let's cause you to become familiar with them. Yes, in the handout, I do tell you how to get more information on that. I don't share that in the show because it takes time to do that. But with Photoshop's neural filters, you can automatically improve image quality and edits, and save time that used to take hours. Photoshop's neural filters leverage AI to perform complex edits and enhancements. Tasks like upscaling images to higher resolution, reducing noise in low light images, and retouching portraits can be done with just a click. These filters analyze image content to instantly improve quality in ways that previously took hours. For example, the Smart Portraits filter smooths skin tones while preserving important facial details that cloning tools often damage. The results mirror extensive manual retouching with no intensive labor. I mentioned generative fill earlier. This is in Photoshop. So Photoshop's generative fill feature uses AI synthesis to convincingly fill in missing areas in images. So replacing the need to painstakingly patch or reconstruct damaged or missing portions. Photographers can simply highlight any unwanted spots, any unwanted objects, and invoke generative fill, and the AI will blend new pixel data seamlessly into that surrounding images. It works for backgrounds, objects, even large areas by generating plausible replacement pixels. Now, this is another one that I've played with, and it does incredibly well in some instances and not so well in others. But once you get used to what it can and can't do, you're going to get it to where you using that technology will be able to know what works and what things you need to have a different way of doing it, and you'll get it to where it looks fantastic every time. How about fixing imperfections? There's an app called Remini, and this is an AI that is used to smoothly retouch facial blemishes and wrinkles. You can just do this on your phone. Remini, Remini. And again, I am sharing all this stuff in the handout. Creative effects systems like Deep Dream generate artistic, stylized effects from ordinary photographs. That's the Deep Dream generator. It's pretty darn cool if you like it, uh, graphical images, taking your photographs and turn them into these artistic, stylized images. Pretty cool. Deep Dream generator. And that's at deepdreamgenerator.com. And I mentioned Remini just a moment ago, Remini. It's remini.ai is where you'll find that. There's GPT-3 creative image generation. There's Lightroom's AI-based auto edits. There's AI-based photo composition tools. Tons of this stuff. So AI could someday suggest optimal framing, lighting, and posing by analyzing examples of your work. However, blind reliance on some of these AI tools risks diminishing your unique style and creativity. And if you're just starting out, it could rob you of ever creating your own unique style. This is why software like Filter Pixel that I mentioned earlier has an advantage, because it's trained on your completed images. That's the database of work that it does the work from is from your own work. So that's why it has an advantage. So do not use AI to replace your skills and your judgment. Think of AI as a tool that frees up your time for high level goals that you have in your life. Now, there's a lot of stuff in there that I've shared that might be scary. I still believe that photographers are going to remain valuable. The passion photographers bring is invigorating. It's collaborating well with your subjects. You're bringing a lot to the table. Our sincere excitement is what inspires our clients, and it brings out their expressions and emotions so we can create images that are telling stories. While AI will continue assisting with complex edits and enhancements, the vision, the connection to your clients, the creativity that you bring as a photographer is going to withstand these technological shifts, at least the ones that we have now. I have some closing thoughts before I share with you what's coming next week. And you're going to like what's coming next week. because it's about making money. All right. And it's in the shortest distance to making money. But hang with me and I'll tell you about that here in just a moment. I want to remind you one more time, if you want the script with all the extra stuff that's in it, the links to several different sources to gain more information about these things, then just send me an email. You need to do it right now because you're going to forget. Send an email to me, jim@landersphotoschool.com. I'm going to send you this show script with all the different links and an invoice for $10. So that's how that works. Closing thoughts. Portrait Profits friends, we've come to the end of another show, and I want to summarize it. The rapid advancement of AI brings promise and concern. While you may see articles and opinions that exaggerate the threats, we cannot ignore the progress in AI capabilities. So let's not dread a future with a dwindling need for photographers. Instead, envision integrating emerging tools that assist your skills and save you time, because you have an exciting career ahead of you. Automating automating organizational tasks and basic edits with AI can free more time to focus on your goals. Stay grounded in your purpose. Leverage automation to enhance your productivity, and you will thrive. Our passion and our purpose are the reasons why we will still be able to do what we do for decades to come. While some things may change, the essence of photography remains in photographers' hearts and minds. The future is bright for photographers who have defined their purpose and goals, who create a path to get there and get on that path with determination, all while strategically using AI. I want to encourage you guys to make some comments over in the comment section that I can use at the end of the show to just say what you thought about this show. It could be a thank you. It could be an idea. It could be something that you've used. Of course, I like the thank yous. Thanks, Jim, for investing your time and helping us. Yeah, I like that kind of stuff, but I'm not telling you that's what you need to write. I definitely am going to post those because I'm proud of that. But I want to encourage final comments right now. Go to the comments section. Share what you're thinking. If you got something that you can use today, please make a comment about it or just simply say thank you. Your words of encouragement fuel me to continue to bring you valuable suggestions and help you elevate your portrait photography business. Now, I have two, looking at the time, I have one announcement I want to make. If you're in the San Antonio area, the annual San Antonio, and I didn't realize I was leaving that up the entire time. That's what I meant to show you. The annual San Antonio photo tournament for ages 5 to 15 is on Sunday, July 23rd. That's this coming Sunday, a week from yesterday. If you're in the San Antonio area and you've got kids or you know kids, let them know about this. You can find more information about it at, and I just realized I didn't share the address. So let's do that. This is for the youth photo tournament. Spell it right. I'm giving you the URL here in just a second. Youth photo tournament. SAYPT.eventbrite.com. All right. So I'm putting that right now in the chat or in the comment section. So just click that link. It's asaypt.eventbrite.com. That gives you more information. Also is where you buy the tickets. But this is a fun event for photographers in the ages between the ages of 5 and 15. And this is totally fun. That we have a regular version of this. It's in October that's for 12 and up. But this one is just for kids. So yeah, there's a little bit of overlap in the ages. But this is for 5 to 15. And this is something that's a lot of fun for the kids. They can use their cell phones or they can use cameras. They get the list of categories that morning and they go out and compete in as many of them as they want to. They submit their images and then their awards and certificates and prizes are given to them before they leave. It's done by the time it's over. It's not a popularity contest on Facebook or any type of social media. It's all in person. So this is a fun event for this coming Sunday. So go to asaypt.eventbrite.com. And every week you get the Portrait Prophet Show brought to you. And so this is something that every single Monday at noon, with the exception of the second Monday of each month, where we move to 6:30 and do a panel discussion. But every Monday at noon, you have a totally new, different topic. And of course, we encourage you to just put it on your calendar. But I want to, it's every Monday at noon. So put that on your calendar. The one that's coming up next is how to make portrait photography equal success ASAP. I want you to get ready for a game-changing experience on the Portrait Prophet Show. You have been doing some things with your time that are not helping you. I'm going to fix that in just this 1 hour of the next show. Discover the shortest path to your success with the simplest strategies and actionable steps. So save the dates for this extraordinary show that will immediately take your business to new heights, simply by eliminating the things that aren't valuable to you. And a few steps that you're going to want to take to make it happen. 1 week from today, how to make portrait photography equal success ASAP. All right. I appreciate you guys investing your time here today. I appreciate it when you share this show and let other people know about it. Because I believe, and I hope you believe, that when we uplift the entire photography community, we're uplifting everyone in every different way, including pricing. Because if your price is too low, you are not helping yourself or your clients. Prices have to be in a way that causes you to be able to reach your goals. Photography is your passion, but it's also, if you're using it as an income source, it's the tool to help you do the things you want to do out of life. So your pricing is not based on what other photographers charge. No, it's based on what causes you to reach your goals. And yes, there's a mathematical equation for that. I keep seeing lots of people give their opinion on pricing that it has to be related to what everybody else charges. Those people don't get it. They're good people. I'm not saying don't listen to them. Listen to them. They're good people. They care. But they haven't thought it through if that's the conclusion they come to. With a few exceptions, because they are right in certain situations. Everybody's different, though. There are very few blanket statements that we can make for photographers. For Landers Photography School and Digital Pro Lab, this is Jim Landers bringing you the weekly Portrait Prophet Show, where we're helping you excel in your portrait photography business through valuable tips and insights, helping you stay on track towards the success that you deserve. Join us every Monday for evolving content as we unravel the mysteries of the business side of photography. Thank you for tuning in today, and we'll see you next time on the Portrait Prophet Show. I look forward to watching you grow. Bye for now.